Welcome back to Animepeep channel. Today we will recap anime title My Dress Up Darling. The anime genre is romance. This anime aired in January 2022. Let's check out the video. The anime start with a boy named Gojo. He is a high school student passionate about crafting hina dolls. One day he goes downstairs to meet his grandpa, who inquires if he has made any friends at school. Gojo, not wanting to disappoint him, lies and tells him he has made plenty of friends. At school, a girl suddenly flies across the room and lands right on Gojo's table. Gojo's heart races. He gets nervous because he has never spoken to a girl in his life. Later, after school, Gojo remains behind to put the chairs on the tables since everyone else has already left. Just then, Marin enters the classroom and starts helping him. With a friendly smile, she advises him, "You really need to stand up for yourself more. If you don't, people will keep taking advantage of you." Gojo heads to the school's sewing room, relishing the peace and solitude it offers. However, his tranquility is interrupted when Marin enters. Startled, he accidentally drops his hina doll on the ground, catching Marin's attention. Panic sets in as he thinks it's all over now, but to his surprise, she asks, "Do you know how to use the sewing machine?" Gojo explaining that his family runs a hina doll shop. Curious, Marin asks if he knows how to make clothes. He replies affirmatively, and to his shock, she takes off her sweater and stands up. Marin begins changing her clothes right there, and Gojo's heart races as he realizes there's an undressed girl behind him. Trying to keep his composure, he turns around to see Marin in a set of black clothing. Gojo continues to poke fun at Marin's outfit until he notices tears welling up in her eyes. Instantly, he drops to his knees and apologizes, realizing he may have gone too far. Marin reveals that she made the outfit because she wants to cosplay as her favorite characters from anime and manga. With hopeful eyes, she asks him if he will create a cosplay outfit for her. Seeing her excitement, Gojo finally agrees, and Marin's face lights up with joy. The next morning, Gojo opens the door to find Marin standing there, a bright smile on her face. She hands him a cheesecake as a gesture of gratitude and steps inside his house, her enthusiasm infectious. Gojo can't wrap his head around a girl being in his room. Marin asks if he's ready to take her measurements. Gojo hesitantly tells her that she has to be in her underwear. Without a second of hesitation, Marin begins taking off her clothes. She's wearing a bathing suit because she thought that he would get all flustered about it. Gathering his courage, Gojo approaches her. Marin opens her eyes, causing him to stumble back in shock. He slaps himself in the face, trying to regain his composure, and mentally prepares for the task at hand. Taking a deep breath, he begins measuring her body carefully, trying his best to focus on the task and not on the situation. After what feels like an eternity, he finally finishes. With a bright smile, Marin hands him DVDs featuring the outfits she dreams of cosplaying in. At school, everyone talks about how beautiful Marin is. Gojo still can't believe that she was at his house. Marin approaches Gojo and thanks him for his help. In class, Marin tries talking to Gojo, but he constantly avoids her. Eventually, outside, he hides behind the train station, but Marin appears behind him. She asks why he's been avoiding her and reminds him that they're friends. Gojo says that people have been wondering whether they're dating. Marin suggests that they could if he wants to. She grabs his arm and brings him to a cosplay store, where they begin looking for fabric. They continue their shopping spree and enter a garters and stockings shop. Gojo feels out of place, but Marin shows him a little treat. Gojo asks her to cover up, but Marin continues teasing him. Marin thanks Gojo for being so helpful today. She mentions that there's a cosplay event in 2 weeks and runs off. Gojo becomes stressed after hearing this, because he feels it's impossible to finish the whole outfit in 2 weeks. As they're walking through the hall, Gojo realizes that the midterms are next week. For the next 2 weeks, he works on the costume at night and takes his test during the day. At night, Gojo wonders if he's just not cut out for it. He contemplates what he'll do if he doesn't finish the outfit on time. After finishing it, he invites Marin. Gojo tells her that she can now go to her event, but Marin informs him that she isn't planning on going and that it's all a miscommunication. Gojo falls to the ground after hearing this, and Marin begins crying. Gojo tells her to try it on since now's the perfect time. He wishes to one day make hina dolls like these, and Marin encourages him, saying he will. They continue with the makeup, and Marin puts on the costume. She exclaims that the costume fits perfectly and that it's an exact replica. Gojo begins taking pictures of her, and he finds himself a little attracted to her. They head to the cosplay event, and Marin is super hyped, but Gojo feels a little out of place. Marin reassures him that it's just fine. They walk to the plaza where a man asks if he can take some pictures of her, and she cheerfully accepts. Marin begins posing, thinking she looks super cute. As Gojo watches her, he realizes that since he has now fulfilled his promise, there's no longer a reason for him to hang out with Marin. Suddenly, Marin starts sprinting toward Gojo. She exclaims that her corset is too tight and is crushing her bust, and doesn't think she'll make it. The two quickly enter a building so Marin can cool off. Gojo gives her some wet towels to put on her body. Marin suggests that he unzip her corset. Gojo freaks out but eventually gives in. Marin feels much better on the train, and she thanks Gojo for being so helpful. He replies that it was a great experience and that he had a lot of fun. Marin then asks what they should do for her next cosplay. She mentions that she has 50 more characters she wants to cosplay as. Gojo feels relieved after hearing this. Gojo's grandpa returns home and sees Gojo and Marin together. Grandpa is impressed that Gojo made such a nice dress and takes a closer look at the costume. Marin finally sees it and is in love with Gojo. She wonders what she's going to do, but then her stomach growls. Gojo suggests that Marin eat with them since she's here anyway. Marin praises Gojo for his cooking skills. Grandpa suggests that she come over and have dinner with them from now on. After dinner, Gojo walks her to the station. She tells him that dinner was delicious and that she had fun talking with his grandpa. She says she'll see him tomorrow and waves goodbye. As Marin walks away, she wonders why she can't even pull herself together around Gojo. Thoughts swirl in her mind about what might happen if they ever decided to do something inappropriate. Later, Grandpa looks outside and sees a girl standing in the rain. Gojo arrives home and Grandpa tells him he has a friend waiting for him in the shower. Gojo wonders who it is, thinking it might be a burglar. He opens the door and sees a girl slip and fall right in front of him. They go downstairs and the girl introduces herself, saying she's here for outfits. She explains that she wants to see cosplay outfits like the ones he made for Marin. However, Gojo tells her that he doesn't make cosplays as a business. It suddenly clicks for him. This is the famous cosplayer Juju, who Marin admires. Juju mentions that she saw Marin's photos and admits she stalked her at the event, following the two of them home. Marin arrives just in time to see Juju, and she begins melting at the sight of her idol, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Gojo, trying to keep the situation under control, casually mentions that Juju saw Marin's pictures. This revelation sends Marin into a frenzy, her cheeks flushed with a mix of embarrassment and joy. Juju quickly clarifies, "I'm here for the costume Gojo made. I want you to make me the Black Lily outfit." Overwhelmed, Juju drops to her knees, begging for forgiveness for any misunderstandings. In a moment that makes Gojo's heart race, Juju looks up at them and asks, "So are you two dating?" Gojo, his face flushed with a mix of frustration and panic, Marin glances at Gojo. That's the recap anime with title My Dress Up Darling. For those who want to watch it, you can watch it on your favorite anime site.